about where we started, and we actually started on Wednesday, for those of you that don't know, but we had a group of Let's Talk teacher training, and on Thursday there was some best choice modules happening, and our leadership day. It saw tears, hugs, excitement, and new friendships formed, people first time at conference, to yesterday's morning with our leaders, and again, more tears, awards, and just an overall exciting day. So we're thrilled to begin Saturday. I'm exhausted, but I'm so happy to be here. So we do have a couple of announcements to make. We actually did do 2 tours, so there was people on buses, and we had a great mix and mingle with Magenta Insurance as well. So lots of little pieces of our conference all coming together, and here we are today. As a nonprofit organization with ECEBC, part of our piece is our sponsorship, which I acknowledge our sponsors, and some donors. And we do have individual people that donate throughout the year to our organization. And there is forms on the registration desk for people that want to make a one-time donation, or you can make a monthly contribution. I just want to read something that was written from one of our donors. I'm pleased to support ECEBC, an amazing professional organization who advocates for a better future for ECEs, families, and children. Thanks for all you do. And we really are appreciative of all of our donors and your support to our organization. The other piece that I'd like to thank is Christopher and his staff, really our tech people. He keeps me on track, I'm supposed to keep him on track, but I can't. So thank you for everything, for making it easy, seamless, and all those little pieces come together, so thank you. So we have been doing draws throughout the day with your trade fair bingo, so please check the message board. And there's been a lot of questions about professional development certificates. They will be emailed to you probably by the end of the month. So, but if not, you can always contact the office if you haven't received anything by June. But we're hoping by the end of the month. Silent auction, it is at the registration desk and will close at 1:30. 12 o'clock, sorry. Travel bursaries, if you haven't picked them up, please do that, and we're happy to make that contribution for you to come. And the other piece is, if you haven't gone down past the washrooms here on your left, in the Vice Regal room, Science World is there as our inspired practice studio. Yesterday I happened to pop in, and there was lots of buzzing again, so please make sure to go there, and we're grateful that they're here joining us today. So I'd like to call on up Carla for an award presentation.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks again, Sonia, for all your work. I'm here to introduce the presenter of the Kay Britton Mentor Award. The Kay Britton Mentor Award was established by the ECEBC's Board of Directors to honor the life work of Kay Britton, a licensing officer and a deeply passionate and caring individual who left a legacy of how early childhood educators can change the world. Actively in guiding others to gain skills and knowledge, to inspire others to practice an ethical and professional manner, contributed to the ECEBC's mission statement and goals of work through work at the board and regional branch level. I am pleased to present Pat Froese to present the Kay Britton Award.
Thank you, Carla. Good morning. Today I have the honor of presenting the 2018 Kay Britton Mentor Award on behalf of Saika Banji. She's our SFU Child Care Society senior educator who was not able to attend this morning but sends her best wishes. I was going to say the same thing about the Kay Britton Mentor Award that Carla just mentioned, but I just wanted to say that this year's recipient is not, nor has been, a licensing officer. We won't hold that against her. But she is a deeply passionate and caring individual who is changing the world. And that individual is Jackie Hughes. Jackie was part of the 2013-2014 ECEBC leadership cohort that planned and put on the Ann Palo Conference at SFU, We had attendees from both British Columbia and Western Washington. Her leadership cohort was a catalyst in raising the profile of SFU childcare on the SFU Burnaby campus, and their efforts resulted in a good number of our 15 childcare programs creating significant connections with various SFU departments and the SFU Museum, which still continues today. Since 2012, Jackie has had an active role in maintaining our connection with the Investing in Quality Research Group, first with the University of Victoria and more recently with Capilano University and their ECE program. Working along CapU instructor Bosun Kim, Jackie coordinates the Investing in Quality Research project at SFU Childcare through Learning Circle workshops. With our educators, Jackie and Bosun presented their research at the ECEBC Leadership Day just this past Thursday. Through this project, we were able to connect further with Capilano University's ECE program to support practicum students in placements at SFU Childcare. Jackie was also a pop-up presenter at the 2017 World Forum in Auckland, New Zealand. She was the conference coordinator for our highly successful April 2017 Infant and Toddler Conference with Deb Curtis and Margie Carter. Jackie's commitment in identifying emerging leaders and leading specific initiatives truly brings out the best in those she works with. It was her vision and faith in our educators that I can attribute to the amazing experience that was had by all who attended. Currently, in SFU Childcare Society's efforts to lead excellence in early care and learning in a sustainable way, Jackie has played a significant role in supporting our new international relationship with a large kindergarten center in Beijing, China. We hosted 2 directors for 6 weeks this past winter, where she, the management team, and her educators provided training on change management, core values, and a Regio-inspired curriculum. We anticipate traveling to Beijing this summer, where she will be a speaker at their training sessions. I have known Jackie for the past 7 years as both her employer and colleague. She is a leader in inspiring others to promote quality childcare in their practice in both an ethical and professional manner, and her own philosophy goes above and beyond the ECEBC's mission statement and goals. Jackie is well known for excelling at her organizational skills and her ability to create processes to enhance the delivery of our high-quality childcare services. In her role as a program director at SFU Childcare, Jackie oversees 5 3-, 5-year-old and 3 school-age programs for 125 preschool and 73 school-age children, totaling over 200 families. Within these groups, she is also responsible for 26 early childhood educators. They look to her as their mentor and constant encouraging source of inspiration. She continually demonstrates her ongoing pedagogical commitment by motivating our educators and herself to grow in their practice. Jackie is an exemplary mentor in guiding others to gain skills and knowledge within the field of early childhood education. Awarding her the Kay Breton Mentor Award honors Kay Breton's legacy, and I am thrilled that she is receiving this well-deserved recognition. Jackie's example is an encouragement to all of us that yes, we can change the world. Congratulations, Jackie. Well done.
Okay. Wow, thank you. Thank you, Pat, for your kind words, years of mentorship, and so many amazing opportunities. When that door opens, walk through it. Throughout my career, I've had many mentors who have helped me to gain the experience and knowledge that has led me to stand before you today, and I'm grateful to each and every one of them for their encouragement and belief in my ability as an educator. It is with their mentorship that I see the value in ensuring that ongoing learning and growth is made available to all early childhood educators. I'd also like to take a moment to thank the ECEBC for seeing the potential in me and helping me grow through my leadership. It's been an amazing journey, especially since 2013, being in the Leadership Initiative cohort number 5. When that door opens, like I said, walk through it. I'd also like to thank the selection committee from the ECEBC, Pat Frouse, Christine Butkus, who is always challenging me to move forward, Bosan Kim, and Saika Banji, as well as many others who have supported me throughout the years and continue to challenge me as an educator, a professional, and a mentor. A special thank you to my husband, who's here today, who continues to support me in any way imaginable, always encouraging me to move forward in my practice. And to all the early childhood educators who have worked with, and I will work with in my career, thank you for the inspiration and dedication to your own personal growth. And for all of you who are taking that step to be here today, it's the first step, and keep moving forward. It's a really exciting time to be in early childhood education. Let's all embrace it. Thank you.
Thanks, Jackie. And Jackie, I'll talk about 2019, but she said moving forward, and we'll be looking forward. Looking backward, moving forward is our theme for 2019, and we'll be at the Hyatt, downtown Vancouver. And it's a national conference with the Canadian Child Care Federation. We're inviting all of Canada to help us celebrate our 50th anniversary. So I'd like to call on up Charlene Gray and to make some presentation.
I'm going to be really quick, but this is super duper important. When you think of a conference like this and the magnitude and the volume of people and the volume of work and the number of months and almost years it takes to put it together, when this conference is over today, we will start planning. Actually, I think there's a meeting this morning for next year. And the work continues, but it doesn't happen by accident. It happens through the dedication of really, really special people, and also the other work of ECEBC, not just conference, but the other important work that we do. So we wanted to pay special recognition to our small but incredibly mighty staff in our office, which is led by our Executive Director, Emily Golick. If you could come on up. And Sean Nygren, I hope Sean is here. And Heather Hazel, and Christine Butkus. If you could all join me in thanking them. Oh, there, Christine, come on. She's working. She always is working. We just want to say thank you very much. They are our leadership every day. Oh, here's Sean. Yay, Sean. She's coming. And two other really important people this morning. So you've seen someone at the mic, with the mic, pushing us, guiding us, keeping us quiet and on time. Last night, she had a mic in her back pocket. I kid you not. But she's done an enormous amount of work over the year, and she has been the leader in our conference, and we're so very grateful for her expertise. And that's Sonia Tavares. Come on, Sonia. And sadly, we're saying, well, actually not. We're saying goodbye to the board, one of our board of directors, Carla Heath. She's great, what? But luckily and very much for our advantage, Carla is going to remain available to our board to work on committees because we can't do it without her. I'm sad she wasn't able to make gala last night. But if you know Carla, she is famous for her gala outfits. And I'm really sad she missed that, but there was an incident with a horse that I will not go into for the 10 minutes she was with us at gala. But Carla has been many roles with Early Child Educators of BC. She was conference director, volunteer coordinator. She was president prior to me, so she was my mentor. And I just wanted to recognize Carla.
Courtney, I'm up. Good morning, everybody. Is the mic on? Can you hear me? Okay. Okay, so all this excitement, people getting gifts and whatnot. I have been tasked with introducing our keynote speaker this morning. So who is Marc Battle?
Over here.
Okay, good. Thank you. I'm glad you're in the room. That really makes my life a lot easier. Thank you very much. For those of you who don't know, my name's Glenda Burrows, and I'm a director on the ECEBC board. And it gives me great pleasure to introduce our keynote for this morning. And Marc is an ECE instructor at Red River College in Winnipeg. And he also works with the Aboriginal Head Start programs. Marc first worked in Toronto's Children's Services and then at the Childcare Centre at Durham College. For 6 years, he taught ECE at Northwest Community College in BC. I'm glad you started moving west. And he became interested in the emergent curriculum, which builds on children's interests and in incorporating a more artistic approach to childcare programs. And he's been at Red River College since 2002. Marc is a passionate speaker on a variety of topics, including risky play, rich learning environments, quality interactions, inclusion, and guiding children towards discovery of their full potential. It gives me great pleasure in introducing Marc Battle. Okay.
Can you hear me? I just have to fiddle with my bum. When I'm nervous, I fiddle with my bum. I learned that from toddlers. They're pretty good people. I'm honored to be here. I'm honored to be on Musqueam land. I'm honored to have been here last night to see fellow Manitoban Don Giesbrecht win the Gail Davies Award. Yeah. Manitoba is in the house. I'm honored for the love, you know, meeting old friends and meeting people that I haven't seen for a very long time. And I'm honored that this is being webcasted and it's going back to my old town of Terrace. So everybody in Terrace, big kiss to you. I miss you all. I'll miss you so much. I live on a flat land, for heaven's sakes, and it's dry. It's dry. I want to start with a story. Is our Raven here? Is our Raven here? Raven over there. I want to just start with a weird story about how I learned a very powerful lesson in my life. I was teaching out in Hazelton, BC, and I did a thing on literature, and I read that great book called Owl Moon. Do you know that book? About a father and a son taking pictures of owls. It's just absolutely beautiful, and the great horned owl. So I read that book, and I finish it, and I go to the class, I go, what would you think? Like, would you read this book for your kids? Isn't it beautiful? And one of the persons in my class, a traditional woman, Millie Heisems, Millie said, I wouldn't. And I said, well, why wouldn't you read it, Millie? And she said, because owls are a harbinger of doom. In my culture, it's a harbinger of doom. And I said, oh, Millie, I'm a white guy. I don't get that stuff. It's a great book. So she said, no, you got to pay attention to that. And so anyways, we did a little scavenger hunt in the neighborhood to get some sort of loose parts and stuff. And then a student being cheeky, she brought me one of those plastic owls that she found. You know, you stick outside your house to keep birds away. And she put it on. We all had a laugh except for Millie, right? And she said, no, you got to take it seriously. So this is a Sunday. I go to my hotel on Sunday night. I get a terrible phone call from my wife about my son being really, really sick. You know, and I'm far away. And his fever won't break. And it's been going on and on and on. So I just want to get home, right? And then I got another phone call. And this one was terrible. My father phoned me up and said that my uncle in Costa Rica had killed my aunt, who was the woman who got me into this field. She started the National Child Care Program in Costa Rica. I was heartbroken. I just want to get home. So then Monday comes, and I have to go to a daycare center, Millie's daycare center, to observe her, right? And we had the most beautiful day, and I got to meet this little girl named Raven. And Raven would stay with me. She never talked, but she'd just stay with me and give me those looks like she knew something. You know, you ever run into a kid that's known you for 1,000 years? I really believe in that, right? Knew me for 1,000 years. And she started giving me a car. She gave me a car, and she had a car. And she just smashed into it all the time. I'm going, Raven, why are you doing that? You know, why are you doing that? And she'd give me a little smile. So anyways, we had a beautiful day, and I'm finished. I'm excited to get home because I got to deal with stuff, right? I go out to my car. It's a car in a massive parking lot with no other cars in it. I go out there, and the side of my car's been run into. Someone smashed into my car. I blamed Raven. It's all right. It's okay. We're cool with that. So I go, so I have to go into the daycare, and I have to phone. This is up in Kitwanga. I have to phone the RCMP. And then Millie comes in, and she goes, you won't believe what just happened. And I said, what? The bus that came to get the kids smashed into the other side of your car. I just want to go home. So anyways, the cop comes, and we're doing the report, and as we're doing the report, an owl flies over top. And I go to the cop, and I go, dude, when someone tells you to pay attention to the signs, you better pay attention. So I went on my way, and I got home. Then a couple of weeks go past, and I have to go back to Kitwanga, and I have to observe Millie again. And we're sitting in circle, and Raven's with me. She just follows me around. We're sitting in circle, and she gives me a little elbow. And I go, what do you want, Raven? And she pulls out of her pocket. It's not even Valentine's. It's like a March or April. She pulls out an old Valentine's card. I'm like, oh, that's nice. I open it up, and it's an owl. So I closed it. I gave it back to her, and I went, thank you, Raven, but I think I got the message. So I come for dinner yesterday, and I sit down at the table with the folks from Quesnel, and the woman over there, I sit beside her, I go, what's your name? And she goes, Raven. And I went, so I start telling the story, and she goes, I hate to show you this, Mark, and she showed me her bracelet on her arm, and it's an owl. The day I learned the most powerful lesson. We're talking about warriors. I'm going to make the argument today that we have a code of ethics in our field, right? It's good. It's really good. I'm unethical, so I don't understand it. I've never taken the training, so I can go around saying, I don't get it because I'm not ethical. I didn't take the training. What I do think is important is we have to have a code of honor. If we have a code of honor, everything will change. So that will be my little argument today. But first, I want to start with a song. I'm a kids singer. I do performances for children. I'm with the folk festival in Manitoba. We specialize in songs that are the blues. We specialize in slave chants, and we specialize in prison chants. The most popular forms of music for children. And you got to think about why. I'm stuck in a room with a whole bunch of people I don't know, and I don't even like half of them. I got all these great materials at my disposal, but I don't get to take any of them home. You know, you got a bunch of kids out there that don't even think their mom's ever coming back to pick them up again. Dem's the blues. Dem's the blues. So this is a great old chant, and this is an old slave chant called Aunt Helen is a Helen. There's a Y program that I do practicum visits in, and I can't go into that program without singing this song. In fact, the kids call me Helen, which is all right. So I asked the kid one time, I said, why do you guys like this song so much? And this one kid goes, because you get to say hell. Right on. That's cool. That's cool. So all you have to do in this song is just respond back to me, all right? So whatever I say or whatever I do, you respond back. This is a call and response. I just need a good beat. And Helen is a Helen. 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 Woo, 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 woo. Woo, 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 woo. Woo, 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 woo. Woo, 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 woo. Zam, 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 zam. 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 Try this. And Helen is a Helen. And Helen is a Helen. Oh, and Helen is a Helen. Ah, and Helen is a Helen. And Helen is a Helen. I said, and Helen is a Helen. I said, I hope you got a picture of that because it looks like I'm having a breakdown. And I think that's cool. I think that's cool. Thank you. Beautiful singing, beautiful love in this room right now. I have a little question for you, and this is going to guide my conversation. What happens within our child care programs when things become routine? Blah. For everybody involved. You know we're in the business of fun, don't you? And we have to be cool with fun, right? I work in an EC department that sometimes my fellow faculty are not comfortable when a student writes as a goal for their activity is we're going to have fun. Oh, it's got to be a little bit more than that. What are the cognitive things? What are the emotional? It's just fun. Because in fun, everything rises and happens. So it's blah if it's routine. What else happens in our programs when things are just routine? No growth, right? No for anybody. For me, as the guy in the room, for the children, for the families in the room. I think routine is our greatest problem we have to deal with within our programs. Because routine creates mediocre, doesn't it? And do you think children deserve a mediocre childhood? Some wise person, I got it tattooed on my back, I'll show you later, all right? Once we get to know each other. There's a wise person that told me once, you know, if there's a school-age kid in your program right now and he was an infant in that program, he spent over half of his childhood in a program. Would you want to spend half your childhood in that program? And that's the question I think we all need to reflect upon, you know, creating these very meaningful places. So that's the big problem that we have to deal with. So how do we deal with it? For heaven's sakes, we follow a code of honor. This is the great, I can never pronounce his name. There's probably smarter people in here. Oh, I'm a terrible presenter. I put someone's name up there and I don't know how to say it. It's just good words. And the words, look at that quote. The point of warriorship is to work personally with our situation now as it is. What does that mean? It means we got to be present. Let's be like kids. You know, aren't kids amazing? Kids don't care about yesterday. Kids don't care about tomorrow. Kids don't even care about today. All they care about is right now. And if we live like them, you know, if we took a little bit of what they believe in and how they live their life, we're going to create these amazing programs for our children. We are going to be warriors. Now, warriors are not about war. We're not talking about war here. What we are talking about is what is the character of the adult who shows up to work. A character that cares about the work. A character, as I was saying to you, about being a man in childcare, that the beautiful thing about childcare, especially for men, is it exposes our vulnerability. And vulnerability is a strength. Children teach me that, right? It's a strength. And it's okay to be a warrior, to live with your heart on your sleeve, and to cry, you know, and to cry about what's happening within your program and how you're going to make that change. So I'm drawing from the Shambhalic tradition. I'm drawing from the Apache warrior code. I'm drawing from the medieval code of the Knights of the Round Table. I am drawing from all kinds of warrior society, and I'm begging that we can take what they have taught us and make that who we are. And I'm going to just say one thing. Do you ever question, who are we? I'm always pondering, who am I? Am I a weird uncle in your life? I'm not your dad. Am I a weird uncle? Am I the weirdo that lives down the street? Remember the weirdo that lived down the street that you had? Anybody have a witch in your neighborhood when you were growing up? Those are amazing people. We're losing the weirdos. I'm trying to bring them back, all right? They're all dying out and ain't being replaced by other weirdos, right? So this is what who am I in their life? We've been talking a lot about children, haven't we? The neurological stuff, right? The pedagogy, I even said the word right for the first time in my life. The pedagogy of kids. But are we spending enough time talking about us? Because if we don't spend that time talking about us, how's that other stuff ever going to happen? So I want to talk about us. I want to talk about the difference between a code of ethics and a code of honor. As I said, I have no ethical training, so this is all foreign to me. And you'll learn from my workshop, oh my God, that guy is not very ethical. And I think that's a gift that I bring. I think it's part of my charm, apparently, according to my wife. The code of ethics, look at that, is a set of rules that guide the right conduct, behavior in an organization. It's all about the rules for you in the organization. That doesn't work for me. It doesn't give me an idea about what is my role, who am I? But if we mix the code of ethics and enhanced it with a code of honor, that changes everything. Because a code of honor is a set of behaviors that guide my character as an individual. Come on, guys, you can break ethics, can't you, as long as nobody knows about. But you can't break your character, can you? Because you will be in pain. So I'm begging that we think about what is our character? What is who are we as the individuals? Well, the character is built in the code, the warrior code. And these are the 5 little points I'm going to talk about today. Oh, by the way, do I have a timekeeper? Because I will talk on and on. I'm in a loveless marriage, so I need to get affirmation from, this isn't being televised, is it? This not going to Manitoba, and you're going to keep your mouth closed about that, Dawn. Okay, give me a 10-minute warning, all right? Because I go on and on. So here's the big points here. Look at that very first point. A warrior goes into the child care program and makes this place better than it was yesterday. That we're okay with going, that didn't work. We forgive ourselves. Come on, you guys must have been in situations where you got a kid with weird behaviors and you probably didn't deal with it well. And you go home and you think about it and you think about it and you think about it and you come back to work and you do something different. You think about how my room's set up, even down to that. Things aren't working in my room. Why do I do it like that? Why is it set up like that? Well, today I'm going to make it different. And can you imagine in the life of a kid what would happen if every person in their life thought, I'm going to make it better for you today, and I'm going to make it better for you tomorrow, and on and on and on. The next one, see the good, see the strengths. We deal with a lot of deficits within our programs, don't we? You know, we think about what's not working and all that stuff. We work with some strange people, don't we? Right? And we're trying to find ways of how we work together. I do the risk workshop through the science of ECD, and there's a lot of conversation about, I'm the risky person, but how come the risk-adverse people have their say and say, we're not doing that? Why can't we work in such a way that we are inspired by each other and use each other's strengths? I always like working with people who are risk-averse. I need you on my side, because when I bring out the chainsaws, I want you to go, Mark, I'm not comfortable with this. And I'm going to go, oh, okay, I'm going to listen. We're going to make this good for everybody. We need to think about all of our strengths. I teach emerging curriculum. I notice there's a schism in that in the programs, because the people who graduated from the program, the college programs before emergent, they're feeling left out. And you get these new young students going, I know emerging curriculum, you old sod. Well, it's not that different than the old ways we've done things anyways, right? We have to be able to look at each other from a strength perspective. And of course, we look at kids from a strength perspective, because that's the only way you are built. You have to actively build a community. Oh God, I hate going into daycares and all I can smell is bleach. Like, that's a hospital, right? And sometimes the environments are kind of cold, and we got a lot of interest areas and a lot of tables and a lot of shelves, and that feels like kindergarten. And I don't know about you, but kindergarten was a terrible place for me. I barely passed. I only passed because she didn't want me back, you know? So I'm really sensitive about community, because community is a place where you live your dreams, not my dreams, right? That's what a community is. Be fearless, take risks, take a chance. We're not even cool with risks with kids, but now I'm asking you, take a chance, fail. You know the great thing about our work? We can fail in something we do for kids, but the kids will pull it out of the hat for us, won't they? And then we look like geniuses. I am built on failures. I'm absolutely built on failures because I took a chance. So be fearless. Why are we doing things like this? Why do all of our programs look the same all across the country? I did a photo essay from Terrace to Toronto, and I was going in and taking pictures of playgrounds and stuff like that because it's a passion of mine. And at some point around Swift Current, Saskatchewan, I turned to my wife and I went, where the heck are we? Because all these centers all look the same, yet all the communities and the kids are different, right? So take a chance. Just because another program's not doing it, that's probably the best thing. I'm going to try it. I've never seen this before. I think our kids deserve that. And the last thing, trust yourself. My gosh, aren't we inundated with information? Seems like every week there's a new thing. Hey, try it like this. Hey, try it like that. Have you heard about this curriculum approach? Pedagogy. Oh my God, where did that come from? All this brand new stuff. And it starts to muddy our brains, right? But can we get simple again? Can we get simple and think about, but what is the point of our work and who am I? And then everything else will unfold. So let me just do some little examples. Make this place better than it was. So that every day you think about, I'm going to make a big change here. And every day is going to be different. I know change is funny for us, which is weird, because we work with a bunch of people who are changing right before our very eyes, aren't they? Right? Right before our very eyes. Yesterday, you couldn't poop in a potty. Today, look at you, man. Right? Look at you. How do we get inspired by that? And how do we do that? Well, how do we do that? We create a place of reflection where we give kids time to do absolutely nothing. The programs I work with, I like to desegregate. I hate segregating kids. I hate having toddlers in one spot and preschoolers in another spot. I think it's really heartless. Have you guys ever seen that when a kid's outside and a little toddler sees his brother in the preschool room and they're divided by a fence? My golly, no, we got to come together. And when we come together, beautiful things happen like this. The preschoolers had set up a little water thing for the toddlers, where they put it in a piece of cedar on a sensory tub, and you crank the little knob that drain the tub, and it filters down. And this little toddler, he would come over every day, and he just splash away. This is on Haida Gwaii, just splash away. I don't know what's going through his head. All I know is this is really, really meaningful. He's probably finding opportunities to bite me on the next chance that he gets, but that's okay. And I usually have it coming, so I'm very fair with that. That we create a place where we recognize our gifts and who we are, as us, as the adults, so that everybody brings something really valuable to share, and also the children. This is a kid I worked with on Haida Gwaii, the kid in the white shirt there, Gabe, and he's one of those kids, you know, that comes in with a big old deficit file. You know, the big old deficit file, all the things you can't do. Can you imagine if you brought home the one you love to meet your parents for the first time and they gave them your deficit file? Read this and you'll understand everything about them. Well, that's what we do with kids, don't we? I don't read that file because it's not going to teach me anything, because this kid taught me that. You know, there was nothing in his file that told him that he could build these elaborate structures that are absolutely beautiful and functional. That wasn't in his file, right? How do we create a place where their gifts can come out in such a way? That's my job as a warrior. That there's a place to make choice and be responsible about stuff. These kids want to do sewing stuff. So we go out of our way to be able to make that thing happen. And that we have that idea that kids will rise to that. You know, they talk about image of the child, right? Do we see them as confident and strong? Do we see them as full? They're full, you know, they've got tons of wisdom, right? Wisdom that we have long forgot about. They're not half empty, you know, that they're vulnerable. They're not vulnerable at all. You know, there's a great strength in what kids are. They're not angels. They're not devils. And for heaven's sakes, they ain't cute. They're not cute. I hate that word. I do. I hate it. I absolutely, it's so demeaning to people. You know, wouldn't you like it if people throw out an answer and go, oh, look at you, you're so cute, giving that big word. That's so demeaning. They're not cute. They're these amazing human beings. How do we see them as that? And there's a beautiful need to belong. Everybody wants to belong in something. I end all my days with kids with tea. Peppermint tea. And we sit around like old people. And I'm going to swear, and we bullshit. When I first started doing tea time, the kid with the eye patch there, Nico, I thought I'd turn it into a learning experience, and I brought a book. I was reading, and then as I'm halfway through the book, Nico goes, can we just talk? And we did. So we have peppermint tea. You know, the nice thing is, when parents come, they can't stand at the door and call the kid over. They got to come and sit down and have tea with us. And we have real china cups, right? We have real china cups. Sure, they get broken, but that's, who lives in a house without broken china cups? Everybody. In that, life changes, community life changes, and that's the beautiful part. So let's accept change. Let's be moved by what our kids have taught us about that change is cool, and change is where every beautiful thing happens. So I want you to think about this question. I'm not going to have you answer, but I want it to settle in with you. I want you to think about, if we're here to make this world better, which we are, that's our business, right? We're here to make our world better. What lessons do you hope that kids get from you? If you think about that question, that's gonna make you think about, what message am I giving children every single day? The next one is see the good, see the strengths. See the good and strengths in kids. I worked at a program called Ann Ross in downtown Winnipeg, most marginalized community in Winnipeg. All the violence that tends to happen in Winnipeg tends to come from that neighborhood, right? And so I worked in there because it's just an amazing program. And I had a kid there. You've all got a kid like that. But I had a kid named Jamie. And Jamie she wasn't fitting in. Doesn't that break your heart? You know, you're trying everything to have them feel comfortable in the place, and they're not, right? And I would think, I'd walk home crying. I'm not afraid to admit that I cry. I walk home crying, going, how are we going to fit in Jamie? And so we would have meetings about Jamie, and we'd do all kinds of stuff, right? We'd do all the self-esteem things that ECEs do. Well, then this beautiful, and then none of them worked. None of them worked at all. Then this beautiful kid, Jordan, came in. And Jordan was really well put together and stuff like that, very fashionable. And she comes up to Jamie and she goes, look at your hair. We got to do something with your hair. And so she took her over to the kitchen area, or the bathroom area, and they had barrettes. What I loved about that program is they lost the war on lice, so they just gave up, right? You know, get the haircut. You'll be all right. You look fantastic. Look fantastic. So anyways, puts the barrettes in her hair, takes the hair off her face and all that stuff. Then she took her into the symbolic play area. So let's get you into some different kinds of clothes. And we had this person there that made these most beautiful dresses, right? And so she put on a dress. Jamie came alive. She started to talk. She started to build friendships. And we started to laugh, going, that kid didn't need self-esteem things from the ECEs. She just needed a makeover. That's all she needed. But Jordan saw the strengths. Jordan saw the gift, right? And then we saw the good and the strengths in Jordan. So I want to talk, just a little story about water slide, how I learned another valuable lesson. I'm terrible outside with kids. Anyone that's ever worked with me, Stephen, where are you, man? You worked with me. You know I'm terrible outside. I get distracted. I'm the worst supervisor outside. And so here I am having a lot of fun with the kids. And we had rigid rules at Ann Ross. You can only use the slide in a very specific way. Up the stairs and down the slide, and don't put anything on the darn thing, because apparently that's really dangerous, right? And so anyways, I'm lost in something. I'm having a little bit of fun, and I turn around, and this is what happened. And you have to understand, this is a place where we had a lot of troubles between the kids. The relationships between the kids was quite troubled, right? And so we were working hard on how we bring peace within our programs. But the beautiful thing is the kids will bring it if we allow it, right? There's water slide. One day while playing on the climber, Kara poured water down the slide. I totally missed that. Totally missed that. The next time she poured water down, Tommy placed a bucket to catch it all. Tommy, smartest kid in the daycare, because every single kid would go into the daycare to fill up their buckets with water. Tommy would just go like this. So he got like 20 turns to every other kid's 1 turn, right? Smart kid. Avery thought it was so much fun that she just jumped right in. Soon everyone was grabbing buckets of water, hoisting them up to the top of the slide, making a water slide for everyone. You see that picture back there? They got bare feet, wet feet on a climber. So I decided I'm going to be a teacher. I'm going to supervise. So I went over. Excuse me, everybody. You got bare, wet feet on a climber? Trying to save a little face here, right? It's finally paying attention. You got wet feet on a climber. I'm afraid you guys are going to slip off that thing. And Jordan, the one kid with the little two-piece with the red thing there, she comes up to me and she goes, Mark, feel it. Feel it. It's gritty. It's gritty. I'm safer with my bare feet. Which she was right. She was absolutely right. I know the kids are looking at me going, and you're in charge of us? I'm also colorblind, and that's really funny because a kid will give me a marker on practicum, and I go, oh, that's a beautiful blue marker. And they go, it's purple. And then they go, you don't know your colors? And I say, yeah, but I got a wife and a car and a job. It all works out. I'm sorry, I'm getting really hostile. So I want you to think about what are the barriers that get in the way of you being able to uncover the strengths of every single child within your program. Knowing every single child within your program that makes them tick. You know, our job is really just about getting them, right? Just getting them. And then once we get them, we give them what they need. The next one is build a community. As I said, I'm tired of walking into places that smell like bleach and all kinds of stuff. There's a program, I forget the name, but up in the North Coast, there's a program where the staff who start the day, their job is they put on the bread machine. The bread machine. And so the first thing you experience when you walk into that daycare is the smell of bread. That's a community. And a community, as I said, is your dreams are here and they're alive, even if they confuse me, right? You want to play guns? You can play guns. Because this is where your dreams are alive. You guys understand that a kid is not going to turn into a gangster because in daycare he goes, pff, pff. He'll turn into a gangster if his mama don't love him, but not when he pulls out a fake gun, right? Right? We build a community where you can do yours. I don't get kids being kitty cats and dogs. I'm against 50 Shades of Grey, and I think it's demeaning that you're on a leash. But I'm not going to go, oh my God. You know, we're not going to create a place like this. I heard on the East Coast that they're banning princess play. Now, as a male, we're finally going, yeah, finally, princesses are getting nailed because superheroes have been nailed for a very long time. So finally, equity. Equity. So I asked the smart people, I said, why are you banning princess play? And they go, we don't want to teach our girls that you have to rely on a prince or a king. And I went, oh my God, you have never seen a girl play princess. You have never seen that in your life. They are the strongest people. You know they're above a queen, right? They're the most strongest people in the room. So how do we build a community? According to Carl Rogers, I just love his stuff. It's a place where people make choice, right? So kids can make choice. Do we all have to go outside at the same time when kids are building stuff with the blocks? Do we have to do that? Can we find other ways to go outside or other times to go outside? Can a couple other people just go outside? I stay in with a bunch. Or maybe we don't go outside this morning, but we're going to spend a lot of time outside in the afternoon. How, you know, I work in day, I go visit daycare centers. I go, oh my God, the room is just flowing beautifully. What's going on? And they go, it's Fun Friday. And I go, okay, what's Thursday? Oppressive Thursday. You don't want to come around on Thursday. Or a summer schedule. Well, when you're 0 to 5, every day is summer. So we're already building community on these special days where we have a flow. Why do we have schedules? Schedules don't make sense to me. You know, you arrive at 6 o'clock. This is how it always works. You arrive at 6 o'clock. We eat at 12. We have a little rest after that. 6 o'clock, I hope you go home. And that's it. And then everything happens because it's a community. You can make your own choices. You can participate in planning decision. I worked with a center once where the student didn't know what to do from an emerging curriculum perspective. So I asked the kids, what do you guys need? And they said, we hate our room. We want a different design. So I said, okay, very, very cool. There's your curriculum. And so as soon as we talked about that, they're going, oh my God, we want a leather couch. I don't know why these school agers want a leather couch. They want a leather couch and a lava lamp, and which is cool, right? And I hope they weren't playing Grateful Dead music too. That would be all kind of weird. So anyways, as the kids talk about it, we say, what kind of couch do you like? This leather couch, where do you get a leather couch from? Thank gosh there was a kid with Asperger's in the program, and he said, I collect furniture catalogs. And out of his backpack, he pulled out furniture catalogs. I'm not kidding you. I'm absolutely not. It sounds like a lie, but it's absolutely true. And we found the couch we were going to get. So they had fundraisers, and they made enough money to get a couch and a lava lamp. That's amazing. It's a place where you become aware of your personal strength. It's a place where every single child goes, this is who I am, this is what I'm good at. And they get opportunities to practice that every single day. And I love that last one. They're free. They're free to be autonomous. Creative as the architect of their own life. You come from a long lineage, kid. You are the result of many ancestors that got you all here to this day today. And in respect for that whole line of ancestors, I have to give you the freedom to be who you are. Because I don't know who you're going to be. But I'm going to make sure this is a place that can happen. So how do you do that? Make a real relationship. Love. Love is the center of everything we do, and love is reciprocal. I love you, you love me, we're a happy family. But love means I'm changed. I'm a different person because I've been in your company. That's what love means. I'm a great, beautiful, nice man. I really am this, right, Don? I hardly swear at meetings. I'm pretty good. I'm a nice guy. Why am I a nice guy? Because I've got to spend over 30 years of my life in the company of children. It's taught me a lot about what it is to be a man, you know? So that's love, real relationships. Real rules of understanding, not the safety and how to protect our equipment. Sure, that's important. But the real rules of understanding of how we're going to live together. What's valuable and important for us as a community. Every program I work in, I always have Yertle the turtle in the bookshelf. Yertle the turtle is our constitution. It's our rules of understanding. If you don't know that story, you go out and get it, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay, it's about kill the king and let's have democracy, but we're not going to go down that road. You create a place where everyone belongs, regardless of what your abilities, skills, and all that stuff. I don't know why we put certain deficits on pedestals and other than other ones. I'm in a band with two guys with disabilities, and we're supposed to play this big event, but we weren't ready. And so I said, we're not ready, man. I don't want people to just sort of count us, you know, as, oh, that's nice. They got two guys with disabilities. Well, our bass player has Asperger's, and our singer is a survivor of thalidomide. So he looks like he's got a disability. So as we're having this, the bass player goes, 2 people with disabilities? Who's the other one? So I went, oh, God, now I'm in an uncomfortable position. I go, well, you are, by definition, they consider you having a disability. And then he turns to me and goes, but you can never remember when we're practicing next. I said, I didn't say it's fair. So we create a place where everybody has a place to belong, you know? Dad, I don't care if you got cerebral palsy, you bring that board out, you're putting that back. Because you're not special. Nobody's special. And we're all special. You build a democracy, you got a good idea, you can build that here. A democracy means I'm going to listen to you. Does it mean that you're going to get your way all the time? No. But it means that I'm going to hear you. And I'm going to listen to you. And I'm going to change whatever I have to change because this is a program we built together. Me, children, and families, right? That is a democracy. If we followed that, our programs will be vibrant, will be respectful of our local values. I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting a little weirded out about curriculum frameworks. Because curriculum frameworks are so big and broad that we miss the small little special things within local communities, right? But in a democracy, you will respect what's happening within your specific community. We need to bring families in. We need to bring grandparents in. What are your hopes and dreams for your children? And we'll make this thing happen here. And then you create a place where there's problem solving. A place that, you know, you're reflecting in choices. This is on Haida Gwaii, and the kids wanted to suspend wood. I don't know why. They would tie it up, jump down, have a look at it, get back up, undo it, tie it up a different way. Now, it's a desegregated program. There's toddlers out there. And I'm thinking, oh my God, they're going to get their heads cut off when these boards come flying down. And I don't want to write that incident report, right? I don't write that incident report. So I don't say no to kids. What I say to kids is, okay, this is what's freaking me out. This is what I'm concerned about. How are you going to fix this? Oh my gosh, when you do that, you know, kids got 100 answers, right? That's problem solving. And why do we have to know all the answers as adults? Isn't it great to be dumb? Seriously, I'm absolutely serious. Isn't it great for us not to have the wisdom? And that makes us open to the wisdom of others and the wisdom of other children. I think a lot of the troubles that we get into is that we just dig in and think, I got to have all the answers for stuff. And then connect with others. Get out of the cage. Get out of the daycare. Meet the weird lady down the street who we all call a witch with all the cats. Meet them. Interact with them. Meet the old man that does the gardening. Meet them, because they're really interesting people, right? Meet all the people in your neighborhood and reach out instead of staying so caged in. So think about, what are you currently doing that's creating this beautiful community vibe within your programs, right? How is your program running in such a way that it does feel like dreams are being lived here and other people's dreams are being lived here? Be fearless, take some chances, have some guts. Be okay failing. Be okay with people thinking you are crazy, right? I think our children deserve that. I know it's brutal going into the staff room after something like this and everything's quiet. Have you ever done that? But that's okay. That's okay. Because kids are depending on you to be fearless, right? And take chances. Fearless, like what kids teach us that, you know, put a string, put a big rope on a slide. That's a safer way to get up the slide. And they come up with all the rules. Look at her feet against the edge, keeping her out. She wrapped it around her arms, keeping that kid on there. We told the kid to crouch when they get down to that little hump there, so that everything's really, really safe. Now, I didn't tell the young boy who pulled up Crystal, she's the big girl there at the top, I didn't tell him how to talk about women. Because when his mother came to pick him up, he says, I pulled the biggest girl up the slide. I mean, I wouldn't talk like that. Just define her by name, okay? Be fearless. I hate climbers, but it's not the climbers the problem, it's how we use it. So be fearless and take chances that let kids use climbers in unique and innovative ways. Turn them into forts. That's a better use of a climber. Put cars on it, put water on it, do all those things, but take a chance on that stuff. Take a chance like Angus there, building a climbing wall. You want to build a climbing wall, we put a rope up and we climb. We make a list of rules. See that paper over there? What are the rules of the climbing wall? We come up with it. Not that they can read it, but there's something about writing it down makes it official, right? This was beautiful, the dangerous obstacle course that the kids had created. You step on one of those boards, they go flipping off, right? They go flipping off. But what's really neat is when they made this, I have a kid in that program that had cerebral palsy and she had to work on her walking skills. And we're told to make masking tape lines so she walks on it. She came in the daycare and said, what's this? And I said, it's for you to walk on. She said, that's stupid. And she rolled it up. Then Allegra goes and sets this thing up and she got on that. Took her about 15 minutes to accomplish it, but she got on that. And then we had to reset that thing back up when her mom came, right? So she could show off her mom what her skills are. Kids taught me that when I first worked there, they said, let's play in the sandbox. And I opened up the lid and there's only like a little skip of sand. And I said, oh, we don't have any sand. Sorry about that. I was about to put it down. They go, we'll have a mud bath. So you know when the kids are doing this, you can't say no, right? So I'll have to go making a mud bath. So I want you to think about the rules that make sense to you and what are the rules that don't make sense to you and get rid of them. You know those rules, especially the harsh ones, are built for a kid named Carter who no longer goes to your daycare. Think about that. Used to be Damien, now it's Carter. Don't name your kid Carter, I guess. And then the last one is trust yourself. Go with your gut. There's a reason there. As I said, we're being inundated with so much information, but take that information, filter it through your gut and see what makes sense or not. If you trust yourself, you're going to create these amazing programs. Like a program I got to create with Stephen. Is Stephen still there? Stephen. Oh my God, I'm so blessed to have you in the room. And we created one of the most beautiful programs on Haida Gwaii. This is us trusting ourselves. It took place in this little nursery school that wasn't running in the summertime, so we took it over. We phoned in licensing, didn't we, Stephen? Because they didn't have a budget to come and visit us. So we said, oh yeah, we're doing this. Oh yeah, that's going to happen. Yeah, everything's pretty cool. And then I hung up and said, okay, we're going to do what we want. Because they're not going to see us. Like, they're not going to visit us. I told you I'm unethical. I disclosed that already. And so there's our team and our Stephen. Gosh, he's looking good back then. And we had a really diverse group of people. We had Stephen, who's one of the most amazing storytellers, absolutely touched by nature and brings nature in. If you haven't worked with Stephen, you got to work with Stephen, man. He's going to teach you a lot. Then we had Hannah, who's really good at gathering stuff from the community. And then we had Mary, who was really safety conscious, right? And we're all working together. And we built a program. We advertised in our little coffee shop in our neighborhood. Oops, I forgot to do this. We built a program based upon a negative question. What do you hate about daycare? We made a list of all the things we hate about daycare, and we said, okay, we're going to do the opposite. So we're not going to have interest areas. We're going to have spaces where things are housed. And it was just a quiet, meditative area where all the soft stuffs are and the books and all that stuff. Symbolic, construction, and art sensory. That's it. And then everything is just housed there. You don't have to play like that there. Just you know where the stuff is gathered. Then we had people like Crystal who taught us that adults should not be washing children's hands because we do a crappy job with it. Don't we? Okay, out, okay, out, okay, out, okay, out. And little kids take time. They take time and it's intimate. There's our lovely tea time together at the end of the day. We go to the community together to get the stuff that we need. We don't do circle time in the middle of the day or in the middle of the most prime optimal play time. We do it at meal time because it seems to make sense. We steal from the infants and toddlers, right? And it's the most vivacious lunchtime you'll ever have when we get to tell stories and eat and all that. I hate sleep time because you're in those terrible cots. They look like those Romanian orphanages, right? Terrifying. So we get into our pajamas and we find a buddy and we sleep with them and the adult reads a story and it's meditative and calm. Is it legal? Probably not. Probably not. But it's something I would absolutely fight for. We do emerging curriculum because it makes sense. It comes from the meaning that kids are putting within their lives. We broadcast it everywhere, in the daycare center, outside the daycare center, at the mail kiosks, where people in the community gather and see what our kids are doing. And as a result, we get stuff from them. Their kids won't be in the program, but they go, I got cedar logs, you want those? And they bring them. And we don't use a lot of toys, the argument makers, as I say. We get rid of the argument makers and we put in loose parts and we watch what ends up happening. So think of a time when you really believed in yourself. And what do you think allowed that to happen? I think that's one of the most valuable questions that we need to think about of who we are, right? And believe in yourself. So I'm going to end with this quote, then I'm going to end with a story. I love this quote. The two most strategic mistakes to make are acting prematurely. You know what we do when a behavior is happening. We jump in, and we haven't seen the whole context of things. And letting an opportunity slip. We see that a lot in our work, right? About that climbing wall that kid made, it was good for him, but it was better for another child who actually experienced bravery that he hasn't done before. To avoid this, the warrior, you, treats each situation as if it's new, it's unique. And you never resort to formula. And you never resort to recipes, and most importantly, other people's opinions. So we are warriors. That's who we are. And if we can build that within our character, we're going to create programs like you won't believe. And we will address all the pedagogy, we'll address all the neuroscience as a byproduct of who we are. So I'm going to end a story about a warrior. This is a story my grandmother used to tell me before bedtime. I had an Irish Catholic grandmother. Anybody got one of those out there? They're nuts, aren't they? And they are. And she would tell my brother and I scary stories. She thought that was a funny way to go to sleep. She used to do banshee stories. A banshee is a terrible witch. And she'd tell the story, and then she'd go, now go to sleep. And then she'd go in the kitchen and scream like a banshee. And my brother and I are sleeping like this, just crying. She said apparently it makes us strong. So that's a gunny wolf, and this is one of my most favorite stories in the world that she told me. And please, please take this story and tell it to your kids. My grandmother lives forever, all right? Now, in the Gunny Wolf, there's a song, I Need Your Help, and it goes like this. Come, qua, que, yo. Can you do that? Come, qua, que, yo. Now, to be the little girl in the story, you have to go like this. Pitter-patter, 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 pitter-patter. Can you do that? Pitter-patter, 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 pitter-patter. To be the Gunny Wolf, the big old monster, you got to go like this. Gonna get you, 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 gonna get you. All right? Once upon a time, there lived a mother and her daughter, her little daughter, in a cabin on the edge of the great woods. And the mother always said to the girl, don't go deep into the heart of the woods, because there lives the Gunny Wolf, the most vile, most vicious monster that you will ever meet. And the girl said, Mom, I promise I'll never go deep into the heart of the woods. Well, one day the mother had to go into town, and she couldn't bring her little girl with her. And she said, little girl, you have to stay behind, but you have to keep your promise. And the girl said, I promise, Mom, I will not go deep into the heart of the woods. So the mom went away, and the girl started doing some reading. She started building some blocks, started doing a little painting. Then she looked out the window, and she saw this beautiful blue flower in the center of the meadow. Do you think she should go out and pick it? Well, she did. And she went out singing, come, qua, que, yo, come, qua, que, yo. And she picked it. And then she saw this beautiful blue flower on the edge where the meadow and the woods meet. Do you think she should go out and pick it? She did. And she went in singing, come, qua, que, yo, come, qua, que, yo. And she picked it. And that's when she saw it deep, deep, deep in the heart of the woods, this beautiful, tall, red flower. Do you think she should go and pick it? Well, she did. And she went in singing, come, qua, que, yo, come, qua, que, yo. And she picked it. And she turned around to go home when there was the Gunny Wolf standing over top of her with great big claws and great big teeth and hair all over his body. And he went, little girl, sing me the beautiful song. So the little girl sang it very, very nervously. Come, qua, que, yo, come, qua, que, yo. And the Gunny Wolf fell asleep. So the little girl said, I'm getting out of here. So she went, ready? Pitter-patter, 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 pitter. The Gunny Wolf woke up and he went, gonna get you, 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 gonna get you. And he got her right on the edge of the woods in the meadow. And he went, little girl. I don't know why I have a Russian accent. I apologize. I absolutely apologize. I really do. I live in Winnipeg. It's very sensitive about that. Little girl, why do you move? Sing me the beautiful song. So the little girl sang the song very, very nervously. Come, qua, que, yo. Come, qua, que, yo. And the Gunny Wolf fell asleep. So the little girl said, I'm getting out of here. So she went, ready? Pitter-patter, 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 pitter-patter. The Gunny Wolf woke up and he went, gonna get you, 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 gonna. And he got her right in the middle of the meadow. And he went, little girl, why do you move? Sing me the beautiful song. So the little girl sang the song again very, very nervously. Kumquaquayo, Kumquaquayo. And the gunny wolf fell asleep. So the little girl, she could see her cabin right there. And she said, if I run really, really, really fast, I'm going to beat that old gunny wolf. So she went, ready? Pitter-patter, 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 pitter-patter. The gunny wolf woke up and he went, gonna get you, gonna get you, gonna get you, gonna get you, pitter-patter, 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 gonna get you, gonna get you, gonna get you, gonna, pitter-patter, 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 pitter-patter. And she ran right into that cabin, slammed that door shut right into the face of the gunny wolf, and she looked out the window and she saw the gunny wolf going back into the woods, holding his crumpled old snout, going, ugh. Well, the mother came home. And when the mother came home, she saw this beautiful bouquet of flowers on her kitchen table. And she went, oh, little girl, did you break your promise? Did you go deep into the heart of the woods? What do you think the little girl said? Doesn't matter. It's a moral dilemma. It really doesn't matter. But what matters is that little girl, she grew up and she became a mother and she had her own little girl. And one night they took a walk along the edge of the woods. And do you know what they heard deep, deep, deep in the heart of those woods? Kumquaquayo. Thank you. One time I told that story. I've been telling that story for years. My grandmother told me when I was a little tiny kid. And one time this kid comes up to me after the story and she goes, I know why the mother knew about the flowers. I said, well, she had been in the center of the woods and collected that red flower when she was a little girl and met the gunny wolf. And I went, oh my God, I never thought of that. This is like a whole cycle. So the best thing about the warrior code, if I can wrap it up, I need to wrap it up. The best thing about the warrior code is not only is it good for our character, right, and who we are as a person, we're building warriors in our programs. That little girl in the story is a warrior. I want to create a place where children will vow that I'm going to make today better than it was yesterday. I want to build a place where kids will understand that it's the good and the strengths that I need to see most of all. I want kids to understand what community means and how powerful community is. I want kids to take chances. You know, life is too short. I want them to take risks. And the most important thing is I want kids to believe in themselves. There's a lot of things out in the world that's getting that way. And where are they going to learn that? They're going to learn it from warriors. So I'm Marc Battle, straight out of Manitoba, and this is what I do for a living. Thank you very much, everybody. Oh, my God. Go straight to my head. No. Can you take a picture of this? No, only reason why, because this is nice, but it gives me no currency at home. So I still have to do the dishes and the toilets. So thank you.
Incredible. Incredible. Mark, come back up. Come on. Thank you so much for touching our hearts and making us reflect as early childhood educators and students. And thank you so much again.
That's an honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.